This is gonna be a really straight to the point practical guide on how you can actually be consistent at doing positive things. This is December 7th, 2024, and this is gonna be day 152 of consistently helping people build consistency. Hi, my name is Laksana, and I'm going to help all of us to build consistency in our life. I'm just an average person who is also struggling to be consistent at doing positive things, and I've been consistently documenting my own consistency journey online for hundreds of days. And I'm here to share all of my insights on how to actually be consistent at doing something. But firstly, I want to say thank you. Thank you for actually caring about your life, because if you actually want to change your life to the better through implementing some positive things in your life, I actually really do appreciate that. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about the concept of bare minimum. I'm going to be giving some example and why setting a bare minimum, a daily minimum target is really important when we are trying to be consistent at doing something, right? So actually, this could apply to studying, exercising, creating videos, creating content, anything, right? But for today's video, I'm gonna be using exercising as an example, right? So let's say we want to be consistent at exercising, right? We make it more specific, right? So maybe like we just want to be consistent at doing push-ups, right? Push-ups, right? Push-ups, push-ups, push-ups. I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. We don't necessarily have to know the exact numbers of how many push-ups that we're gonna be doing. For the past, like for the past 1 month or like 2 months or 1 year, right? We don't necessarily have to have a clear exact numbers, right? But the thing that we do need is that we need to have a clear bare minimum, a clear minimum numbers, right? Of the daily target, right? So let's say I'm going to be explaining why this is going to be important later, right? So let's say I set the bare minimum. So let's say I set the bare minimum of doing 10 push-ups, right? So I need to do at least 10 push-ups, right? And I'm going to be using this bare minimum for the next 5 days, right? For the next 4 days, actually. Okay, so on day one, I do 20 push-ups, right? So the bare minimum is 10 push-ups, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I can only do 10 push-ups, right? I can do 20 push-ups, I can do 30 push-ups, but the bare minimum is 10 push-ups, right? And then the next day, right, I only do 15 push-ups, right? It's a decrease actually compared to yesterday, but that's still okay because at least I still do the bare minimum. In fact, I do more than the bare minimum, right? And then the next day, I do 10 push-ups, which is the bare minimum, right? That's still gonna be okay, right? Because I did my thing, right? And then on the sixth day, right, after I've been consistently doing at least 10 push-ups for the past 5 days, right, I'm gonna be thinking to myself, you know what, like if I want to increase my bare minimum, right, I want to increase it by 5, it's not going to be a mess. Why? Because I've proven to myself, right, I've proven to myself, right, the past 5 days, I've been consistently at least the 10 push-ups every single day, right? So actually, like increasing it by 5 wouldn't be that much of a mess, right? And then I increase the bare minimum by 5, right? And then I'm gonna be using that bare minimum for the next 4 days, and the cycle repeats. I'm going to increase it every single like 5 days, right? So actually, uh, in terms of exercising, right? This is just hypothetically speaking. I think like when we are talking about exercise, we don't necessarily have to exercise every single day. Maybe we take some rest days on weekends, right? Because we need to rest our muscles, right? And then maybe like we also don't want to necessarily make it like increase the bare minimum every single week or every single 5 days, right? Because at some point maybe like it reach like 100 push-ups or like 200 push-ups or even like 1000 push-ups. I think it's gonna be pretty unrealistic, right? So maybe like okay, at some point just stop increasing the bare minimum. Maybe like at 50 push-ups or something like that. I don't know, right? Maybe at 100 push-ups or anything, right? But also don't forget to take some rest days, right? So here's the thing. When we just frame it this way, right? Even that we don't know the exact, even we don't track the exact numbers of how many push-ups that we've been doing every single day, we can actually say something like, you know what? I've been consistently doing push-ups at least like 20 push-ups for the past 1 month, right? I've been consistently doing it. I don't know the exact number, but I've been consistently doing it for the past 1 month, right? And you know what? Not only that, I've been consistently doing it. Actually, I've been also consistently increasing it for since like 2 months ago, right? Something like that, right? So here's the thing: when we just have this kind of like a clear idea of how many push-ups at least we did every single day, we can it actually leads us to two things, right? Firstly, it's going to the clarity of this is going to create a sense of identity of to us, right? We're gonna associate ourselves as a consistent person, right? And guess what? When we just associate ourselves as a consistent person, consistent person is a consistent at doing positive things, right? A consistent person, uh, in wait, a person who is consistent at doing positive things is a good identity, right? And we humans, we love good identities, right? And once we have some good identities, guess what? We don't want to lose that identity, right? And how can we actually maintain this identity of being a consistent person, right? It is precisely by continuing to do the stuff, right? It is precisely by continuing to do the habit, right? That's how we actually be consistent at doing the thing, because we don't want to lose the identity of being the consistent person, right? Once we've established, right? But that's one reason, right? But not only that, we're gonna be more consistent because we have established an identity. We are also going to be consistent because like here's the thing, right? When let's say we've reached somewhere around here, right? Let's say we've been doing this thing for like 20 days straight, right? We can actually say like, oh, you know what? I've been consistently doing this thing for like 20 days. I've been like consistently fulfilling my target for the past 20 days. Guess what? I'm also going to be doing it at the 21st day, and the 22nd day, and the 23rd day, and so on and so on, right? So that's also going to help us to be consistent, right? Because we don't want to break the streak, right? We don't want to break the thing that we've been consistently building here, right? Oh yeah, and also like I want to be giving some disclaimer. Like since the example is exercising, right? Maybe like at some days you feel that you're sick and something, right? Please just take some rest, because it's gonna be counterproductive actually if you just like do it even on the days when we are not feeling that well, because it could leads to more harm, right? We don't want that to happen, right? But okay, going back to my second reason, right? So when we just frame it this way, when we actually have some sense of consistency, right? Actually, it's gonna feel pretty suck to actually break the sense of consistency, right? Because here's the thing: like doing 25 push-ups, most of the days doing 25 push-ups is gonna be something that's suck. It's gonna be something that's not fun, right? But it's gonna be more suck when we just break the sense of consistency, right? So here's the thing: it's like doing 25 push-ups sucks. It doesn't feel good. It's painful, but it's more painful to lose the streak that we've been consistently building for tens of days, right? So that's why we need to set a bare minimum when we want to be consistent at doing both of things. That's it for me for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel that this video is helpful. Bye bye.